The newest balances are officially here. Hey guys, that's right here, and welcome back to another Clash Royale video. Now this upcoming month, there is a new season as well as finally a set of 16 balances that will be arriving early next week. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into everything we know about Season 27 and beyond. Just kidding, I lied. Before we get into the video, if you could please leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. Also, feel free to use code Legendaray in the shop. You get the dealio. Let's get right into the video. Let's get the easiest thing out of the way first. The next season is going to be called Executioner's Kitchen, and as you can see, it comes with a new tower skin, 2 new emotes, a boosted Executioner, a rare book in the free track of Clash Royale, as well as a couple of challenges and global tournaments listed here. Next up, Supercell recently just released a post about what the team was up to and why they didn't have an update slated to come out in September like they initially planned. According to the team, the previous updates were focused primarily on new and mid-level players and helping them with progression. The next update is going to focus on the high-level players with more content and changing the gameplay in ways we have never done or seen before. And to be honest, if the mechanics they're introducing are going to be as new as they are saying, well then yeah, they're gonna need some time to balance it and make sure the mechanics are fundamentally solid. Finally, last order of business, let's go over the balance changes coming in this upcoming season. Like I said, there are 16 cards that are being changed, so be very prepared for a shift in the upcoming meta. As soon as the meta begins to settle down, I'll release a top 5 decks video, so again, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for that. But without further ado, let's hop into the balances. Tesla, lifetime from 35 seconds to 30 seconds. This is pretty self-explanatory, right? Tesla's pretty good. We all hate Expo. Jokes aside though, Tesla has just gotten too much value in cycle decks recently, so a slight tone down of the lifetime seems sufficient. Bomb Tower, lifetime from 25 seconds to 30 seconds. Now the Bomb Tower is pretty much not seen in this current meta. This change is going to make it just a little bit more viable in the upcoming meta without making it the absolute menace that it was a couple of months ago. Guards, damage plus 12%. Now guards have been some of the consistently least used cards in all of Clash Royale. So by increasing their damage by 12%, that's a pretty massive buff, and it's going to allow them to deal with higher HP units much easier. Meaning that is going to give the guards much more of a defensive utility to put in your decks. Night Witch, death spawns removed. First bat spawn from 4 seconds to 1 second, spawn rate from 7 seconds to 5 seconds. Now the Night Witch is pretty much seen in Golem decks and Golem decks only. This rework aims to make her a little bit more versatile with the faster bat spawns, which should hopefully allow her to fit in a couple of more archetypes. Mother Witch, hit points minus 4%. Now Mother Witch has just been so powerful in recent metas, so a slight cut on her HP is going to mean that she's still very effective, but she can now die to something such as an arrow and a log. Poison, enemy movement speed 15% slower. With Fireball being so popular and Poison just pushed out of the meta, there needed to be an additional reason for you to want to play the Poison, and now you have it. The Poison will slow down the opponent's movement. This could be absolutely huge, as we've already seen this mechanic in the game before. It was actually removed by Supercell in a balance change because the Poison was actually just way too overpowered. So looking forward to seeing how it will work in the upcoming season. Electro Giant, hit points -4%. The Electro Giant, I think this is pretty self-explanatory. One of the easiest win conditions to use, tons of ways to get consistent tower damage, and so with slightly lower HP, the opponents will be able to take him out just a little bit easier. Bomber, attack range decrease 0.5 tiles. Bomber is dominating in tons of different archetypes right now, from quick cycle decks to heavy beatdown decks. Having the Bomber as a cheap splasher cycle card is just so versatile, so a slight attack range decrease means that it's just going to be a little bit less effective. Hunter, first attack plus 0.2 seconds. This one, also not too much else to say. His use rates is really low. It did get a nerf a couple of months ago, so we're just going to undo some of those changes. Fire Spirit, damage radius decreased from 2.5 to 2.3 tiles. Now the Fire Spirit is just a little bit too versatile. The most important interaction this is going to affect is that the Fire Spirit can no longer kill all 3 goblins in a goblin barrel if it's deployed in the center placement. This is going to be huge for bait players, so finally you guys won't just get hard countered by some guy running a Fire Spirit in their deck. Tombstone, death spawns from 3 skeletons to 4 skeletons. Again, this one's also pretty self-explanatory. Tombstone is one of the least used buildings, so we're just gonna add a little bit more utility. Royal Giant, first attack 0.2 seconds slower. This is very interesting because I didn't think the Royal Giant was too popular, but that being said, Supercell is nerfing its first attack, meaning that there is now much less of a chance that the Royal Giant will be able to get a hit onto the tower. Goblins. Goblins will now spawn farther apart. Now, goblins were a difficult card to balance because there were just so many different goblin cards out there. So instead of touching the goblins themselves, Supercell decided to add some distance between where they spawn, which will allow them to much more easily surround the opponent's units. Giant Snowball. Pushback increased 0.3 tiles. Snowball is just not a very popular 2 elixir spell at the moment. With the increased pushback, you will now be able to perfectly defend a goblin barrel if you play the snowball late enough. Sorry, bait players. Goblin Drill. Death spawns from 3 to 2. This one also another very well-deserved change. Goblin Drill just a little bit too effective, so now with 1 less death goblin, it's gonna be a little bit easier to deal with, but still a very deadly card if left ignored. Royal Hogs. Damage plus 6%. Now with the bomb tower buff, the almost never used Royal Hogs are just gonna get even worse in the upcoming meta. So Supercell decided to give the Royal Hogs a little bit more damage, which should hopefully mean that the piggies will be slightly more viable in the upcoming meta. So there we go, that's everything coming in Season 27 of Clash Royale. Let me know your thoughts on everything down in the comments section, and I'll see you guys next time.